Good morning, everybody. Myself, Dr. Neetu Singh, Assistant Professor in Physics, Government Nagarjuna PG College of Science, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Today we are going to discuss about Lorentz gauge. This topic is taken from Paper 1, Electrodynamics, Unit 4 of MSc second semester. So contents, we will discuss history, then introduction, then we will come on mathematical expression, and then in last we will discuss references. Now first we will discuss about history. Lorentz work was the first summarizing shortening of Maxwell's equations after Maxwell himself published his paper in 1865. Now introduction. In introduction we will discuss Lorentz gauge condition. In electromagnetism, the Lorentz gauge condition or Lorentz gauge is a partial fixing of the electromagnetic vector potential. Now we come on mathematical expression. Maxwell's field equation in terms of electromagnetic potentials are given by del square A minus mu epsilon del square A upon del T square minus grade bracket close in bracket divergence A plus mu epsilon del phi upon del T bracket close is equal to minus mu into J. Then del square phi minus mu epsilon del square phi upon del T square minus grade divergence in bracket divergence A plus mu epsilon del phi upon del T bracket close is equal to minus minus rho upon epsilon. Since divergence A is arbitrary, we may impose the condition known as Lorentz condition by choosing in bracket divergence A plus mu epsilon del phi upon del T bracket close is equal to 0. When the vector and scalar potentials satisfy this condition, the gauge is known as Lorentz gauge. So now we will get del square A minus mu epsilon del square A upon del T square is equal to minus mu J, and similarly del square phi minus mu epsilon del square A upon del T square is equal to minus rho upon epsilon. But we know mu epsilon is equal to 1 upon v square, where v is the phase velocity of wave. Then equation 4 takes the form del square A is equal to 1 upon v square del square A upon del T square is equal to minus mu J. Similarly del square phi. Now defining D'Alembertian operator as del square, we will get D'Alembertian operator square whole square is equal to del square upon del x square plus del square upon del y square plus del square upon del z square minus 1 upon theta square del square upon del t square is equal to del square minus 1 upon theta square del square upon del t square, because we know that del square is equal to del square upon del x square plus del square upon del y square plus del square upon del z square. So equation will take the form A and B. Del square A is equal to mu J and del square phi is equal to minus rho upon epsilon. Equation 7 are similar to Poisson's equation. Hence these equations may be solved by a similar method. Now let us examine the requirement imposed by Lorentz condition on the gauge function A. Substituting A prime is equal to A plus grade phi, we will get phi is equal to minus del A upon del T. Now in Lorentz condition we obtain divergence A minus grade A is equal to minus mu epsilon del upon del T phi plus del A upon del T is equal to 0. Finally we get del square A minus mu epsilon del square A upon del T square is equal to 0, or del square A is equal to 0. Lorentz condition is invariant under those gauge transformation for which the gauge function satisfy equation 8. All potentials in this restricted class are said to belong to the Lorentz gauge. The Lorentz gauge is commonly used because of it leads to uncoupled wave equation 7a and 7b for potentials, and it leads A and phi on equivalent footing since equation 7a and 7b have similar form. It's a concept which is independent of coordinate system chosen and so inconvenient for the consideration of special relativity. All this content I have taken from book of Satya Prakash. Thank you very much.